Hi everyone, so pre-season is over. I've managed to do 5 games. So what I wanted to do was do a quick kind of review of my pre-season, how I felt it went and what kind of things I've learned from pre-season. So that's what this video is about. So basically, as for those who've been watching the vlogs, I've just moved from Sussex to Hampshire, so didn't know many clubs didn't know any clubs really in the area, and every different county seems to have different processes when it comes to friendlies. So in my previous county, most people who would get their pre-season matches would be kind of have a relationship with the club would say, here are my fixtures, and then that referee would either do them all or would find people to do those games. So what it means is, in kind of previous years, if you didn't have that connection or that motivation to go and get pre-season games, you just wait to hear from your friends and say, hey, can you do this game? Can you do this middle, this line? Whereas moving to Hampshire, what I've realised is they're doing all of their pre-season matches and making them centrally appointed. So what that means is basically the clubs go to one guy and say, hey, we've got these games, and this one guy then goes and gets appointments. So that has been hugely beneficial for me from pre-season, because I actually just say, hey, these are the dates I'm available, and I was getting games appointed to me. So it was a lot more structured than I'm used to having. And really I took this pre-season a lot more seriously than I normally would, in terms of getting games. I think I've probably done more games in this pre-season than normal. They were a lot more kind of structured and scheduled, so I'd know in advance when I'd had them. I wouldn't just pick a Saturday appointment up on a Friday kind of thing. It was a lot more, I had a lot more planning and process when it came to pre-season. And then ultimately I've been working really hard on fitness too. So during the weeks or the days that I don't have games, I would be going out running with, you know, other members of the REFSIX team, or running on my own, and actually basically trying to compete with each other to go out and finish runs. So overall, really positive pre-season for me. Yeah, you know, it's been fun, met a load of new referees that I haven't been out with before, so that was great. What are the downsides? So firstly, I've done 5 games, 4 of them were lines and 1 was a middle. So I definitely would have preferred to have at least, you know, a couple more middles. And I actually did, but both of them got postponed just because, well, they got cancelled basically because of COVID. You know, the teams were, or players were, either testing positive or it got pinged on test and track and trace. So 2 games lost in the middle because of that. I hope it's not a thing that's going to continue throughout the season, but I think we're going to have to be kind of mindful of the fact that some of the games are potentially going to get cancelled. But definitely, you know, a learning out of this season would be for next year, how can I get more middles in? Because, you know, the middle that I did, I felt great after. I felt like I got my eye back in. I thought my fitness was perfect for me compared to previous years. But, you know, you need that experience. You need to get back on the horse. You need to get back on the bicycle and see all of the, you know, it's easier to make decisions when you're in that kind of mindset and zone, and going into a season cold without refereeing, which I have done in the past, means that you're kind of taking 2, 3, 4 games to get back up to speed. So that's the one thing, you know, I'd like to change. I mentioned already fitness. So we've been running a lot as a team at REFSIX and individually, going out for 4Ks, 5K runs, doing some track work, doing some sessions, which is completely different to previous years. You know, I'd be getting fit during the season rather than pre-season. So I've massively seen the benefit of doing that, and, you know, scheduling in times where you'd go for a run, etc. So really positive that work has kind of portrayed onto the field, because I don't think after any game so far I've felt as tired as I have in previous years, so that's definitely positive. And then in terms of actually officiating, the major thing I've learned from the season, from pre-season, is basically, you know, and I think it's maybe due to the fact that, you know, I haven't been on the pitch for a long time. You know, COVID has basically stopped me refereeing a lot. So the main thing I've realized is I'm trying to make decisions quickly. I see the decision and I'm so excited that I've seen a decision and I can go and act on it, that sometimes I'm making a decision too quickly. So whether that be an offside, you know, that I flag for the offside, and actually we could have let play go a little bit, because there may have been, you know, the defence able to play the ball out, or whether I've given a foul as a referee and not seen the wider picture and enabled me to play an advantage, which would have been great advantage. So that's my major thing going into the season, is take my time. I'm not saying let's take a minute over every decision, but give yourself a little bit of time, give myself a little bit of time to make that decision. Okay, I've seen it, but then I don't have to communicate it until, you know, I've looked at the bigger picture and seen what else can happen. So that's my pre-season review. How did your pre-season go? Did you do anything? What would you do differently next year? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, we'll be producing and giving you insights into more of our match day, more of our refereeing throughout the season. So make sure to subscribe and definitely click the bell. That way you'll get a notification every time we post. So that's my pre-season review. Let me know how yours went.